Hello friends. Thank you for clicking on this video among thousands of other options. Today, join me in going back to the past, approaching a fascinating story about Lucifer, a radiant angel with perfect beauty, who once stood in the closest position to God, dominating the power of God. Strong and powerful that no other angel can match. But his boundless pride and belief that he was more worthy than humanity led him on a fateful path, opening the door to an ambitious rebellion against the Creator himself. If you've ever wondered what it takes for a flawless angel to become a symbol of darkness, Lucifer's journey opens up a haunting and profound perspective. His rebellion was not only a personal tragedy but also a mirror to understand the nature of human ambition and pride. Let's explore the story of Lucifer and hear the whispers of this enchanting history, a journey through which he became Satan, the Lord of Hell. Let's get started. Where did Lucifer come from? According to the Bible, Lucifer is the first child created by God, the first and most powerful seraphim as well as the archangel. Because he was born in the image of God, Lucifer was gifted with the ability to create, to manifest matter and energy out of nothingness and the power to heal and regenerate. Lucifer was always a respected angel and loved by God, until one day God created Adam and Eve from the dust of the ground and ordered him to submit to humans. Lucifer believes that humans are the ones who must be obeyed and worshipped, because he was created from fire, the first light of heaven. Lucifer sees this as an insult and injustice. He wants himself to be united with God's nature, not a human being. He then gathered the other angels, who also considered bowing down to humans as an insult when they were God's first creation. This betrayal of Lucifer caused him to become the antagonist of the angels, along with more than 130 million other angels becoming the fallen angels, causing the biggest war in heaven with the angels led by Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, Uriel, Selaphiel, Jagutiel, and Barachiel, and 260 million other angels. Filled with arrogance, Lucifer issued a declaration of war. I will be in heaven, I will engrave my name on the stars of God, I will sit as Lord of everything, on every peak, highest of all the holiest mountains. I will ascend above the clouds, I will be like the Most High. God sent Archangel Michael to fight Lucifer and his gang. With the power given by God, Michael and his loyal angels quickly defeated Lucifer and his rebels. After that, Lucifer was given the new name Satan by Michael. At the end of the battle, Lucifer and all the fallen angels following him were expelled from heaven as punishment for their rebellion. Many thousands of years later, God said he saw Lucifer being thrown to earth like lightning striking the earth. During the 13th century, it was estimated by the Bishop of Tusculum, circa 1273, that 133,306,668 angels were banished from heaven for a total of 9 days, and this number was later confirmed by 15th century scholars. Alfonso de Spina, circa 1460, reconfirmed. After becoming Satan, Lucifer became one of the 4 kings of hell. He hated humanity and turned his consciousness into a snake and incited Eve and Adam to eat the forbidden fruit in God's Garden of Eden to prove it. Humans are not perfect. Adam did not dare to pick it, but Eve quickly listened to the snake and picked it down. Then she shared it with Adam and they both ate the forbidden fruit. This is the symbolism that describes how women are often easily tempted by desire, while men are easily changed by women. After humans were discovered to have eaten the forbidden fruit, God was angry and punished the snake to lose its legs forever and spend its whole life grinding its belly away. People are kicked out of heaven. Because of their sins, they will have to endure pain during childbirth, have to earn their own food, and face evil natures such as greed, selfishness, and laziness, forming 7. The devil symbolizes the 7 sins that create human suffering. So when God created Lucifer, what did he look like? According to records, Lucifer, with his perfect beauty, is known by the titles the most perfect angel or morning star. In Christianity, Lucifer was once the most powerful archangel, possessing 6 wings, 3 hearts, 4 pupils, 12 fingers, and golden hair. Each of Lucifer's feet always treads on eternal fire. His power was once said to surpass that of Archangel Michael, who stood on the side of Almighty God. Lucifer was originally an excellent angel and was especially loved by God until that fateful day happened. His mission is to advise heaven and has almost no interaction with humans. During his time in heaven, Lucifer was considered the most powerful and talented angel, but also had a proud and arrogant personality. He once loved and trusted God very much but despised humans, because humans were God's favorite creation. When God created humanity, he commanded all the angels to bow down and serve humanity. For Lucifer, this was an insult because he believed that he was God's most sacred and perfect creation. Thinking that God had betrayed his trust, Lucifer led a rebellion, starting a war between heaven and hell. Lucifer led 14,400 other angels, called fallen angels, to rebel against God. He proudly declared, "I, Lucifer, will ascend to heaven, I will rise above all the highest stars of God, I will sit on the top of everything, on every holiest mountain peak. I will become immortal, I will become the Most High." When the war ended, Lucifer and the fallen angels were cast out of heaven, suffering punishment for their sins. The image of Lucifer represents lust, pride, and arrogance. He considered humans to be lowly creatures made of clay, while he was the supreme being made of sacred fire. Lucifer is considered a symbol of arrogance and failure, who was banished because of his arrogant thoughts and stubborn personality. However, the image of Lucifer is rarely mentioned in the Bible and mainly appears through legends and other documents. Arrogance Kanger of Lucifer and his gang. God, with his infinite power, created countless angels, which is impossible to count. One day, during an exorcism, Father Candido Amantini, a Passionist priest and my beloved teacher, asked a demon, "How many of you are there?" The demon replied, "There are so many of us that if we were to manifest, we would cover the entire sky." Indeed, we have no reason not to believe the information provided by this devil because this has been confirmed in the Bible. A large number of angels fell because they rebelled against God. We recall that before entering heaven, God forced the angels to endure a test of obedience and humility, which we only know the essence of, not the specifics. How is it? The sins of the fallen angels were pride and disobedience to God. Satan, the most beautiful of all angels, aware of his extreme intelligence, rejected the idea of being subject to anyone. He forgot that he himself is just a creature created by God. Many other angels also followed his madness. The original sins of the fallen angels are the same as those of those who secretly or openly support the worship of Satan. Angels and Satanists alike often base their existence on rules. You can do whatever you want, that is, without submitting to God's laws. You don't have to obey anyone, and you are in control of your life. What happened among the angels is recounted in chapter 12 of the book of Revelation, a great war between the angels loyal to God and the angels who rebelled against him, or more briefly, the battle between angels and demons. In this passage, the Bible tells us that the archangel Michael led the army of angels, and the serpent commanded the fallen, and was defeated, angels. As a result, we all have no place in heaven anymore, KH 12:8. Why is Lucifer to such an extent? Lucifer, a perfect angel with unparalleled strength and radiant beauty, was once the pride of heaven. However, from a noble position, he fell into the abyss of darkness and became Satan, Lord of Hell. This journey is not only a story of the fall, but also a reflection of human nature in a universe full of contradictions between pride, ambition, and narcissism. To understand why Lucifer came to such a point, we need to look deeply at the four main factors that led him from shining angel to banished devil. The first reason: pride and ambition for power. Lucifer was given perfect beauty and unparalleled strength by God, but this created an excessive pride in him. When a being possesses superior power, it is easy to develop a sense of complacency and the illusion of one's own superiority. Lucifer no longer recognizes God as the supreme being but considers himself the most perfect angel. With his brilliant beauty and extremely excellent abilities, he believed that he deserved to stand in the highest position, equal to God. When God created humans and ordered the angels to serve humanity, Lucifer could not bear it. He considered it an insult and injustice, because in his eyes, humans were lowly creatures, unworthy of respect from God. Next is feeling of betrayal. The next reason leading to Lucifer's fall was the feeling of betrayal. For a long time, Lucifer was the angel most loved and trusted by God. However, when God created humanity and required all angels to bow to serve humans, Lucifer could not accept. He felt abandoned and betrayed by the very Creator to whom he had been so loyal. This feeling rose strongly in Lucifer's heart, causing him to lose faith in God and begin to harbor thoughts against him. Lucifer feels that, of all creatures, he is the one most worthy of love and respect. This betrayal was the main cause of his rebellion, opening a war between heaven and hell. Next, the desire for absolute freedom. Lucifer not only wanted power, but he also desired absolute freedom. Pride and greed for power made him want to decide his own destiny without being bound by anyone, especially God. He longed for absolute freedom, a freedom not limited by the rules, order, or commands of the Creator. Lucifer could not bear to obey the command of God and the other angels. He wanted to stand up for himself and reach the top of the universe, not just an angel but a supreme being. It was this desire that led him to declare war on God, declaring that he would stand above all living beings, including God's stars, and would usurp his throne. Ultimately, Lucifer's narcissism and overconfidence were the decisive factors that led to his downfall. When Lucifer reached an unparalleled level of power and strength, he became complacent. Overconfidence made him no longer aware of his own limits. Lucifer no longer recognizes God as the supreme being but considers himself the center of the universe. He believes that he deserves absolute respect and has the right to decide everything. It was this narcissism that made Lucifer unable to accept inferiority and submission to God, which led to his rebellion against him. Lucifer's journey from elite angel to Lord of Hell is not only a story of his fall, but also a lesson in the dangers of pride, ambition, and complacency. Lucifer's story reminds us that, no matter how talented and powerful we are, if we do not know how to be humble and respect our own limitations, people will easily lose themselves and fall into a dark path. It's dark and there's no way out. When Lucifer began to rebel and challenge God's authority, God felt not only anger but also sadness at the betrayal of a being he had created with absolute love and respect. Lucifer, who was an excellent angel, turned his back on the Creator, which caused God to face a great conflict between unconditional love for creatures and the need to maintain order and justice in the universe. God, in absolute understanding, was not only angry at Lucifer's betrayal, but he also felt regret that a once loyal, talented, and worthy angel chose the path of self-destruction. God's anger was not blind anger, but sadness and pain at seeing Lucifer, the angel whom he had given power and freedom, turn against himself. With love and justice, God knew that Lucifer's rebellion could not be tolerated. He must make the difficult decision of punishment to maintain order in heaven, for if Lucifer's rebellion is not stopped, it will pose a threat not only to heaven but to all of heaven. Universe. God cannot let an arrogant angel like Lucifer lead other angels down the path of fall, disrupting the harmony of creation. Therefore, God issued punishment, banishing Lucifer and the angels who followed him to hell, a place of darkness and eternal punishment. This shows one side of God. He is not only unconditional love but also ultimate justice, always protecting balance and order in the universe. When I learned about Lucifer's story, I asked myself a question: after all the evil things he did he ever feel remorse? And I have the answer. If you have the same question, in legends and religious texts, there is no clear indication that Lucifer regretted his act of rebellion. In fact, after being expelled from heaven and falling into hell, Lucifer is often portrayed as not feeling remorse, but on the contrary, he further affirms his belief in personal power and freedom, absolute, that he pursued. In the Bible and many literary works, Lucifer is depicted as a proud, egotistical character who refuses to yield to God, even at the cost of cruel punishment. In John Milton's Paradise Lost, Lucifer says, "Though we have failed, at least we can make our own choices. We will be masters of our own destiny instead of living under the rule of God." This shows that Lucifer, in many interpretations, never regretted his rebellion. He believes that choosing the path of opposition to God is an act of personal freedom and power. Even though he was banished to hell, he still maintained his opinion, believing that it was the right choice. One possible reason for this is that Lucifer's nature was so dominated by pride and complacency that he was unable to recognize his own mistakes. In fact, in many legends and cultures, Satan, Lucifer, became a symbol of resistance and breaking established patterns, so repentance was not a concept he accepted. However, some other images or perspectives, especially in literary works about Lucifer, may express inner conflict. In these interpretations, it is possible that Lucifer sometimes feels lonely and regrets his decisions, but that regret is not strong enough to make him turn back. Pride and desire for power always outweigh the feeling of regret. The story of Lucifer, a famous character in the Bible and legends, has created much misunderstanding and controversy. Here are some common misunderstandings about Lucifer. One of the most common misunderstandings is that Lucifer and Satan are two completely different characters. In fact, in most legends in the Bible, Lucifer and Satan are essentially the same person. Lucifer, before his fall, was a noble and shining angel, but after his rebellion against God, he became Satan, the Lord of Hell. Satan is Lucifer's name after he fell and was kicked out of heaven, and Lucifer is his name before he betrayed God. Another misunderstanding is that Lucifer, when he became Satan, represented darkness and was completely evil. However, Lucifer was not always a symbol of evil. Before his fall, Lucifer was a shining angel, created perfect by God. Although Lucifer betrayed God and became Satan, this does not mean that he represents only evil, but is a symbol of betrayal, arrogance, and insatiable greed. His relationship with darkness and evil is a consequence of his own fall, not a pre-existing nature. Although in popular culture and many legends, Lucifer is often depicted as the head of hell, in the Bible, there is no clear description of Lucifer's role in hell. According to many legends, Satan is said to be a false god who seduces and tests people, but is not the controller of hell. In fact, the Bible does not give specific information about a Lord of Hell, but hell is considered a place of punishment for fallen souls. Another misunderstanding is that Lucifer rebelled only because of his evil nature. However, Lucifer's rebellion in the Bible is explained as the result of arrogance and ambition. Lucifer was not evil from the start, but an angel who could have become something greater, but because he refused to accept his limitations and wanted absolute power, he led to rebellion. Too much ambition and not knowing how to accept his position caused Lucifer to fall, but that does not mean he is inherently evil. Many people believe that Lucifer could never be redeemed after his fall, but this is a misunderstanding. According to some theological views, even though Lucifer rebelled and was kicked out of heaven, God is always generous and can redeem all who repent and return. However, in the legend of Lucifer, he chose the path of betrayal and did not repent, so there was no chance of redemption for him. Finally, another common misunderstanding is to see Lucifer as the complete opposite of God in every way. However, in the Bible, Lucifer is not a force completely opposed to God but a perfectly created angel with great power and beauty. It was only when Lucifer betrayed God out of pride and ambition for power that he became God's enemy. Therefore, Lucifer was not a force of darkness from the beginning but only became so after rejecting God's wisdom. These misunderstandings about Lucifer come from a mixture of folk legends, myths, and different religious interpretations. Correctly understanding Lucifer not only helps us reconsider the nature of betrayal but also helps us learn lessons about humility, loyalty, and the consequences of insatiable ambition. Lessons left for us. The story of Lucifer, the fallen angel, is not only a mythical event in the Bible but also a profound lesson for humans about the dangers of arrogance, greed, and betrayal. Here are 3 cautionary lessons we can learn from Lucifer's rebellion. First important lesson: beware of arrogance and self-esteem satisfied. Lucifer is an angel loved by God and given immense power, one of the greatest archangels. However, it was this perfection and power that made Lucifer born arrogant. When he felt that he was superior to other angels, he began to no longer be satisfied with his assigned position and wished to rise higher, even on par with God. This arrogance leads to a sense of complacency, causing Lucifer to no longer recognize his own limitations and forget that his power is only a gift given to him by God. The lesson for humans from this story is that arrogance can cloud our judgment and cause us to lose humility, a very important factor in maintaining growth and harmony in life. When a person is too complacent, they easily forget the value of humility and respect for what is above them. Pride can cause us to make wrong decisions, harming ourselves and those around us, just like Lucifer did when he rebelled against God. Second important lesson: greed and the desire for power can lead to destruction. Another important element in Lucifer's story is his greed for power. Even though Lucifer was given great power by God, it was still not enough for him. He not only wants his position but also wants to replace God, become the supreme being, control and dominate the entire universe. This bottomless greed was the main driving force that led to Lucifer's rebellion, when he declared that he would go to heaven and sit on the throne of God, regardless of the consequences. The lesson that humans can draw from this is that the desire for power, if not controlled, can lead to destruction. Greed can blind people, leading them into self-destructive decisions. In life, when people put ambition above all moral values, they easily ignore important factors such as love, compassion, and justice. This not only hurts oneself but also causes severe consequences for society and the community. And the last important lesson: betrayal will always have consequences. Lucifer, after being given power and noble position by God, betrayed God's love and trust. Not only did he oppose God, but he also led a group of other angels to rebel, opening a great war between heaven and hell. This act of betrayal was the pinnacle of Lucifer's arrogance and ambition, and it led to extremely serious consequences. Lucifer and the angels who followed him were expelled from heaven and went to hell forever. The lesson from Lucifer's betrayal is a warning to people about the importance of loyalty and respect in relationships. No matter the circumstances, betrayal will always have severe consequences. When betraying the basic values of love, trust, and justice, people will pay the price of great loss, not only for others but also for themselves. Betrayal is not only the act of breaking up a relationship, but it can also cause a person to lose themselves and the values they once believed in. Lucifer's story is a powerful testament to the destructive power of pride, ambition, and betrayal. Each lesson from this story is a profound warning to people: always maintain humility, control greed, and cherish valuable relationships. Because in life, one wrong step can lead to irreversible consequences, like what happened to Lucifer. To summarize, the story of Lucifer, from a perfect angel to Satan, is one of the prominent legends in the Bible and Western culture. Lucifer, before his fall, was a shining angel, loved and trusted by God, representing perfection and power. However, arrogance and ambition to usurp absolute power, surpassing God, led to the Great Rebellion. Finally, Lucifer was kicked out of heaven and became Satan, the Lord of Hell. Lucifer's story is not only a lesson in betrayal and arrogance, but also a warning about the serious consequences of rejecting God's wisdom, love, and infinite power. However, there are still many misunderstandings surrounding the character Lucifer. Some people believe that Lucifer and Satan are two completely different characters, or that Lucifer has always been the opposite of God from the beginning. There are also misconceptions about Lucifer being the Lord of Hell or not having a chance at redemption. These misunderstandings stem from a mixture of folk legends, myths, and different religious interpretations. By correctly understanding Lucifer, we not only reconsider the nature of betrayal but also learn lessons about humility, loyalty, and the consequences of insatiable ambition. From a shining angel to Satan, Lucifer has been and is the inspiration for many profound lessons about arrogance, ambition, and fall. Although many people see Lucifer as a symbol of evil, his story actually reflects complex elements of human nature, betrayal, and the consequences of not knowing humility. The misunderstandings surrounding this character also reflect the diversity in how we perceive good and evil, and from there, help us draw lessons about self-control, trust, and loyalty. If you find this story interesting and want to discover more interesting topics about Christianity, saints, or profound lessons from legendary figures, don't forget to like and share the article. This is to share with those you care about. Let's learn and spread good values in life together. And if you have any questions or thoughts, don't hesitate to leave a comment below this article. Let's continue our journey of discovery and learning valuable stories. Thank you for accompanying me, and see you in the next articles.